Now, I'm sure you all know and love banana bread, and maybe you've had a slice or two of carrot cake in your life, but have you ever had zucchini bread? Probably not. I'm hoping not, because I'm going to show you how to make it now. So let's get into it. We're going to start a new craze together. 1.5 cups of plain flour into our bowl. And I've got a cup of wholemeal flour as well. We won't sift that because often the little bits of wholemeal don't go through our sieve. I'm going to put a pinch of salt in at this stage because I always forget to put that in later on. This is a sweet bread, even though zucchinis are in it. I think we often forget that vegetables are actually very high in sugar. So I'm going to go in with a teaspoon of bicarb soda and a teaspoon of baking powder and just push that bicarb through. I'm going to go in with 1/2 cup of caster sugar and 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Now you could use honey or maple syrup in this if you didn't want to use sugar, but obviously brown sugar gives us a little bit of caramel flavour in there, and the caster sugar gives us a nice sweetness. Teaspoon of cinnamon, a little bit over a teaspoon. I'm always very generous with spices. And a teaspoon of allspice, very easy. You'll probably notice I'm not a huge dessert maker. I don't get very technical with desserts or with sweet baking. This is fantastic. There's no electrical equipment, you just need a bowl and an arm that can stir and you'll be good to go. I'm just going to make a little bit of a well in the center, as we always do. Going to go in with about a teaspoon of vanilla. I've got vanilla bean paste here, or even you could scrape a fresh vanilla bean out. That would work as well. 3 eggs, crack them into the center. All right, and we're going to give them just a little mix up, break them up, and we're going to start to incorporate those wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. All right, I'm now going to go in with star of the show, our zucchini. Now you probably noticed I'm not adding any milk or water at this stage. We're going to get a little moisture from zucchini. Zucchinis are full of moisture, so just grate them on the old box grater. Now these are quite big zucchinis. We've said 3 zucchinis in my recipes, but obviously if you buy little ones, you might need 5 or 6. Right, great. Zucchini goes in. Great way of hiding vegetables into something that's a little bit of a sweet treat, but it adds a nice moistness to this cake, and I like zucchinis. They've got quite a neutral flavour, so very good for baking. Generally I'd use butter in a banana cake, but I got some olive oil today. I love olive oil in cakes. It gives a nice flavour and a nice texture. So we're going to go in with about 200 mils of our olive oil. Looks like a lot, because it kind of is, but this is quite a big loaf, so don't freak out. All right, now we just want to stir that until we get a nice kind of thick batter happening. Okay, that's mixed nice and well. We've got a nice thick batter there, as you can see, for our bread. A couple more things to go in. I've got some walnuts here. You can put any nuts in this that you like. I love walnuts. Apparently they're very good for your memory. You've just got to remember to buy them at the shops in the first place. And I've got some dates here. You could put any dried fruit into this. I just like the combo of walnuts, dates, and zucchini. That's pretty much it. That's as hard as it gets. Mix them through so they're kind of evenly dispersed throughout the bread. So this bread is great for breakfast with your coffee. Fantastic morning tea, good little afternoon pick-me-up. Right, I reckon that's mixed up pretty good. I'm just going to line a loaf tin here. Baking paper, just measure it out and make sure we've got enough there. Now I remember growing up we used to cut and trim to line all our cake tins, and it would take forever and it was like a craft project. These days, I find the best way is to actually screw the baking paper up. It just makes it more pliable, and you can bend it into shapes and it will hold, and it will have the tendency not to bounce out of the pan like it does if you haven't kind of screwed it up. Just going to pour this in carefully into the pan. Now this will rise up a little bit. Now a few last things to decorate. I've got some whole walnuts here just to pop on the top, just to let people know that there's some walnuts in there. Right, now I've got the oven preheated at 160 degrees. That's quite low, but this is quite a big loaf that we're cooking, and you don't want to have the oven too high because you'll start to burn the outside before the center's cooked. So about an hour and 20 minutes in a 160 degree oven, we're gonna have beautiful zucchini bread. Our zucchini bread's been in the oven for about an hour and 20 minutes. Best way to tell is the old skewer test. So just go into the thickest part. If the skewer comes out clean, you're good to go. Zucchini bread is done. Just let it rest for about 10 minutes in the tin. Easy as that to come out. Looks all right, doesn't it? Kind of looks alive, it's grown so much. And now all we've got to do is just slice it up. There we go, look at that. Beautiful loaf of zucchini bread. Delicious in the morning with some ricotta or some honey on it, perfect with a cuppa at mid-morning, great in the afternoon as a little snack. A perfect alternative to banana bread if you're wanting to try something different. Who would have thought zucchinis could be so delicious?